Our Almighty Father, we thank you for your compassion, for the gift of life, and for your creations.
You unfailingly listen to the petitions of your children, and together, as people of diverse religions,
spiritual expressions, and indigenous traditions of USTP community.
who invoke you by different names, humbly pray that you give us courage, wisdom, hope, and peace.
As we face this pandemic, please continue to provide us with our needs.
We humbly ask for the safety of our frontliners, that they will be equipped with medical resources
And with physical, mental, and emotional strength to withstand the challenges of the time.
may our health experts and innovators find a cure for this unpredictable disease.
And may you guide our leaders in listening and responding to the voices of the people, so that they may have the conscience to render service without counting the cost.
Help us remember that what we are fighting against are not the people around us,
but an entity we cannot easily see. We pray for guidance that we may be able to continue the academic year.
regardless of the current situation. May you continually give our faculty and staff the vitality and grit to pursue their passion for service.
most especially the willingness and lure to transition to the new normal of teaching and learning.
Father,
We
we ask you to bless the community,
The administration, the faculty and staff, and the students.
students.
make us your beacon of hope, love, and peace, so that we become instruments of healing.
Lead us towards your path so this challenging journey will conclude in communal victory.
Amen.
Hello and good afternoon, mga ka-GSK. Welcome to our day 3. And as we always say, mula Batanes hanggang Molon, even outside the Philippines, welcome to our day 3 for this year's webinar series on urban community microfarm. I am Polly.
And I am City. Again, welcome to the third day of this second part of our webinar series in urban community microfarm. So for the past 2 days, Polly, we have learned about natural pest management and of course the proper way of managing solid waste. So for this time around, we are so excited to know more about active citizen framework. So thank you so much sa ating mga attendees since day 1 up until this day, third day, in ika nga nila, Polly, save the best for last. And we will try to
I
achieve that.
know. Well, at the city, we are 56 on our Facebook Live. Mga higala, please do keep sharing our Facebook Live video. And of course, to invite more participants. Because again, we do this hindi lang para sa atin as participants, no, but also for the entire universe, for the whole world, diba? Because we
That
do
is
this
true.
for the future generations. All right, I know you guys are all excited because again, this is third day, and sabi nga ni City kanina, save the best for last. That is why I know excited kayong lahat to know kung ano bang mangyayari this afternoon. But before we have our welcome remarks, let's have a quick shout out sa lahat ng mga
Okay.
nandito ngayon. I want eto, she's been very supportive since day one. Our
I
mother
knew it.
in the Department of Technology Communication Management, Ma'am Doreen Cuevas Raniada. Hi, Ma'am
Yay!
Dor.
Shout out, Ma'am Purple.
There you
Again,
go.
we have another one from Sheila Sabadokya. Ano siya? Good afternoon, watching from USTP Claveria. Again, we have lots of viewers coming from USTP Claveria. Hello,
There you go.
hello.
As well, we have from Lionel Lee Hogaya Bayudo. Good afternoon, everyone, watching all the way from the future millionaire Malitbog Bukidnon.
Wow nga naman, di
Diba?
ba?
Iba din.
Another from Giselle Plaito, watching from Villanueva, Misamis Oriental. Hello, hello, Jan. Stay at
We-
home, okay?
There
As
you
much
go.
as
We
possible.
also have here watching from Aposcajoy, Claveria, Misamis Oriental. That's Jose Maloay Paje. Hello and good afternoon sa inyong lahat. By the way, we thank all of our partners, Mahigala. We have with us here from JCI Cagayan Gold, GSK CDO, in Harmony, who is dropping our attendance links. Very important po na makapag-fill out kayo sa ating attendance sheet because once again, after filing or filling out our attendance form, you will then be automatically receiving the our certificate, no? Certificate
That
of
is true.
participation for our webinar today. Hello,
And-
everyone.
And ma-add ko lang, Polly, no, as of today, we are so happy dahil umabot na po tayo sa 345 registrants mula sa iba't ibang panig na Pilipinas, mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. And again, keep registering for those who haven't yet and sign up the attendance as you have said for today for you guys to get your e-certificates at the end of this webinar series.
I agree. And of course, I know again, you guys are all excited. At yung iba medyo nalulungkot because last day na natin ngayon. But don't worry because I have a special announcement for all of you because we'll have and we'll be launching very, very soon our third installment for this
Yay!
webinar series. And to that, dahil may third installment po tayo, we would like to thank our partners who's been a huge part sa success po ng
That
ating
is true.
webinar series. Allow me to begin with the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines,
We also have Center for Human Development,
Office of the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration and Agropolis,
College of Agriculture of USTP Claveria,
Department of TCM of USTP CDO,
Department of Technician Teacher Education of USTP CDO,
Department of Teaching Languages of USTP CDO,
USTP Claveria Radio Station,
Kids Who Farm,
Kids for Kids.
City Agriculture Office of Cagayan de Oro,
We also have from Clenro, City Local Environment and Natural Resources Office,
Agriculture Training Institute of DA Region 10,
Green Minds Incorporated, and of course,
JCI Cagayan Gold. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Well, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, Ate City, I know you'll be introducing someone very, very special that will join us this afternoon. Kung sino yan,
yes,
Ate
again,
City?
Polly,
Take it
no?
away.
We are so delighted to have this brilliant kid who is the founder of Kids Who Farm, and that is one of our partners, no, for this webinar series. So help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Raina Hinay. Virtual round of applause, please.
Hello, Raina. Hello. First and foremost, Raina, I know you prepared something for everyone here this afternoon. Pero how are you? Kumusta ka, Raina?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. That's so Nice to hear. All right. Eto, Ryan, can I request one thing? Can we see you smile para sa ating mga viewers
Yes.
this afternoon? There you go.
Yes.
Cute. Anyhow, Ryan, I know you are so ready to present whatever it is that you prepared para sa lahat this afternoon. And so, Ryan, the screen is all yours.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. I'm Buenos Dias. Good day, my fellow Eco Warriors. I'm Rina Pihina. I'm an 11-year-old and grade 5 student at Catalina Viuda de Jalon Memorial School. When I went, wait, when I went to my father to his workplace in the areas in the countryside, I was able to immerse myself in agricultural farms. I visited this beautiful vegetable farm. I met men, women, farmers, and children. I realized farmers are our heroes because they feed us. Part of my experience is how to do some farm activities. In this photo, I learned how to prune eggplants. Pruning helps the plants optimize its productivity. If you prune, there will be more fruit. My travels also allowed me to share knowledge. I went to the places where I met my fellow kids and taught them about growing their own food. Sharing what you learn is a fun and fulfilling experience. Aside from sharing knowledge, my travels also allowed me to raise awareness on our farming initiatives. This is my first radio resi in Davao City. Let's learn how to grow our food. It's a basic life skill. Appreciating the value of food starts with growing it. Growing and eating your harvest is sorry. Um, uh, part of appreciating food and farming. Sorry. Appreciating the value of food starts with the process of learning it, with growing it. Growing and eating your harvest is an exciting experience. If you do, you can start with a single pot planted with all your crops are easy to grow. Part of appreciating food and farming is understanding our food does not come from our farmers, producers. Our agriculture contributes a 25% share of employment with around 11 million far- Filipinos who depend on farming as their source of livelihood. However, they are not getting younger. Our, the average age of Filipino farmer is 59 years old. They're indeed getting old. They are retirable. Fun fact, Dr. Jose Rizal, while in exile in the Pitan City, also became a farmer and a fisher. He planted sugarcane, cacao, coconuts, and even established his own farm school. He also once said, "The youth is the hope of the future." In the future, our food security depends on anticipating our participation of the youth in agriculture and farming. I deeply believe as long as we can contribute positively to providing solutions to the many issues of society today. That's what one of which is food security. Next slide, please. Sorry. That is why we co-founded Kids Who Farm, an advocacy initiative that aims to educate the youth about food and farming. Wait, an advocacy initiative that aims to reverse persistent threat of aging Filipino farmers by building the expertise of youth in food and farming. Our mission is to inspire future farmers. As young as we are, we can be a source of inspiration to our fellow young people. And how to engage. Next slide, please. And how to engage young people in agriculture. Let's make farming fun and easy to learn. Having fun is an important aspect in learning. If it's not enjoyable, then you won't be interested. We cannot do this alone. This is why we are very much thankful to all of our friends who support us. These are the organizations who are farmers in pursuing this mission. Our work. Wait, no. Next slide, please. Since 2019, we have done a lot of learning sessions with children, youth, and women in urban agriculture topics. So far, I've already thought about two about 2,000 individuals. Okay. Even with the pandemic still around, we were able to reach out to more people through our online classes. Recognizing teaching concepts is enough. We create programs that enable our communities to grow their own food. We help create community food gardens and micro farms. Our goal for all of this is to help address food security in our city. If we can create network of gardens, we can help provide access to local vegetables for the community and provide a venue for the youth to participate in the solution. We work with the SK women and schools in our city to help them establish a community food garden and wait, a community food garden and wait community wait, uh, look from being idle spaces we were able to convert these lands to productive gardens. At present we have 13 active community gardens and more are coming. Next slide please. There's no talking part here. So next slide please. So, in this slide are photos of the gardens made by our assisted women in Barangay Tulungatung and Shantytown, Zamboanga City. Okay, next slide. There's no talking part here. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry. Wait. Okay. The school microfarm is a learning center where the youth can learn about urban farming and food production. At present, we have 4 school microfarms. In, in school microfarm, we grow lettuce in hydroponics too. So, what is my best advice for you, my fellow egg warriors? Where do you start? Eco actions need not to be complicated. Taking baby steps is a good start. Like my babysitter Zara who loves flowers. I encourage you to start your own garden. You have to teach you how. Start it today. Next slide. I hope you learned something from my story. Let us be part of the solution and not the problem. For more info on People Farm, please visit us on Facebook and Instagram. Muchas gracias. Maraming salamat po. Hi. Sorry, because there's some slide that I don't memorize. The first part of slides is what I memorize best. But if you don't really memorize them because they were in there.
All right. But anyhow, you did great, Rana. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias for sharing
Maraming
your
salamat.
story. Imagine such a young, brilliant mind influencing people. Imagine the figure 2,500 children, youth, and women trained on urban agriculture technologies. And I like what you just said in the end that we have to start today and we have to be part of the solution. Thank you very much for your advocacy for doing this, not just for yourself, I know, and but for the whole world, for the
Yes.
people.
It's
And
really a good thing, di ba? That she has a really a heart for her community and especially sa ating mga co-farmers, no? And
I
thank you so much
know.
for that.
Oh, and according to Robert Marshall Sabuga Aswarin, power. That's indeed power.
Couldn't agree more. Right.
Diba? Thank you very much, Raina, for sharing your time with us here. And again, for sharing your story. And I believe that inspired a lot of people. Thank you, Raina, and
Thank you.
hope to see you soon when this pandemic ends. But for now, stay safe.
Say
All All right, there you have it, ladies
Ayan.
and gentlemen. We just heard the story sa isa sa ating mga partners in this webinar series. Again, that was Ryan Aquina, the founder of Kids Who Farm. Imagine influencing young minds from a young mind influencing another young minds, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Again, our farmers aren't getting any younger, so it's time that we start now. No,
That is
young
true.
as we are, we have to start now, and let's be that change makers for today and hope for tomorrow. I saw it in one of her slides. There you go.
And
Let's
before
have
we proceed, Polino, we have to acknowledge first our barangay beneficiaries from CDO. We have Barangay Pagatpat and Barangay Tablon. So hello there. Shout out lahat sa inyo and stay safe.
Hello. And speaking of shout out, I just want to highlight this comment from Grant Mejorada Amonso. Great to see young people in hashtag agriculture.
Ayan. Tama nga naman,
Thank you
diba?
very much po. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you guys are all excited for us to begin our talk this afternoon. I know you guys are all interested. And once again, we encourage everyone to keep sharing our Facebook Live video. Sa mga nag-share na po, maraming salamat. We are able to see that dahil lahat na nag-share ay automatically magkakaroon ng sharer badge. So thank you very much. At this point, it's such an honor to be introducing our speaker this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker served as a chief executive assistant to Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, sitting on several TWGs from the year 2006 to 2009. She worked for Fit for School under GTZ funding on public school hygiene for Region 10 from year 2010 to 2011. She also served as the administrative officer for UNICEF during their Sendong operations here in Mindanao in the year 2012. She's a mall marketing manager for SM Mall from year 2013 to 2014. She's a sales operations head for Avida Land, Ayala Land, from the year 2016 until present, and the president of Ayala Business Club for Cagayan de Oro City from the year 2009 until present. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual round of applause to Miss Kitty Chokinhoy Piol.
Good afternoon po, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon. Hi, Polly. Hi, City. Thank you so much for having us this afternoon. So I'm actually representing JCI Cagayan Gold for this afternoon. And hello to all our viewers. All right, so once again, everyone, my name is Kitty Chukinhoy. I am the Executive Vice President of JCI Cagayan Gold for this year, for 2021. And we would like to thank our partners. No? So we have GSK, Gulayan sa Kabalayan. We have, of course, Kids Who Farm, USTP, In Harmony, and all the other stakeholders who have made this webinar series on urban community microfarms possible. So this has been a 3-day talk or webinar series. Okay, so this is the last series, and the first 2 ones were actually very technical, but this afternoon, what I'm going to try to impart is all about active citizen framework. See, Raina earlier actually said a very good statement, or gave a very good call to action. She said, where do we start? She mentioned her sister, si Zara, which did baby steps. So yun guys, where do we start? So I'd like to introduce everyone to JCI's Active Citizen Framework. So this is actually the roadmap of JCI organizations, local organizations worldwide, okay? And I've also incorporated a little bit of individual social responsibility. So I'm sure you've heard of CSR, but let's touch a little bit on ISR. All right. So just to show you a very quick diagram on what the Active Citizen Framework is, or ACF. Okay. So on your screens, you should be able to see this diagram, which talks about sustainable impact. Okay. Yon. So sustainable impact is achieved through collective action of active citizens across local communities. And this is what is relevant for us because we are all representing a local community one way or another. Even those na mga individual farmers nato diri karon no, through this framework, makita nato how we can even create greater impact or make whatever garden ba atong ano or whatever endeavor we are doing bigger and create it into a kanang mas impactful kind of project or program. All right? So, as you can see in the diagram, yon. Active Citizen Framework, it's going to track, execute, develop, and analyze. And basically, this framework is applicable or can be used in across any kind of project, actually. So again, this is the roadmap of success ni JCI. Not only JCI Philippines, not only JCI here in Cagayan de Oro City, but actually JCI worldwide, right? So before we dive into the nitty-gritty of our presentation this afternoon, I'd like to show you this video.
At JCI, we believe young people have the power to create positive change in the world. But the question is, how? To start, we ask, what are the greatest challenges in our communities? We work with our leaders and neighbors to discover the root of problems around us. We figure out how to design solutions that will last, and then we take action. First, citizens must be healthy. By fighting disease, growing nourishing food, and offering affordable health care, we can all live up to our potential. Education is the foundation of economic opportunity. By empowering every citizen to learn and find work, society progresses. We have a responsibility to leave a healthy planet for our children, so we must protect our resources and create a sustainable way of life. To be effective, we need a strong team. So, throughout the initiative, we engage partners from all sectors to help reach our goals. Along the way, we measure our results and evaluate our impact so we can prove our success. This is the JCI Active Citizen Framework. This is our roadmap to change the world.
There we go, guys. So Active Citizen Framework is actually the roadmap to success to change the world of JCI. So here, we're not necessarily going to change the world, but we're going to change it one step at a time locally here in our, of course, local communities. No? So since it's Active Citizen Framework, what is an active citizen? So basically, an active citizen are global citizens, all right, or individuals. We all have rights and responsibilities naman, but we all have shared goals, okay? So active citizens are individuals who are invested in the future of our world. So a very good example, I'm going back to Raina sa Kids Who Farm, okay? As early as young as she is already invested in the future, and she is already making sure that we are going towards steps in ensuring viable future for everyone. Okay, who else are active citizens? These are people who are motivated to develop skills, knowledge, and understanding for positive change. It's always working towards positive change in our communities. Active citizens are also the people who are able to collaborate with all sectors of shared goals. So very important there is collaborate and shared goals because we all have to work towards the same goal, of course, no? Right? We also connect the community towards a united action. As an active citizen, it is our role to tie up, connect or kanang tawagon nato on different stakeholders. Barangay captain, okay, we'll call in the corporation, we'll call in the students, we'll call in the women's group, and then combine everybody towards a united action so that we can achieve an overall goal. And then lastly, these are people dedicated to achieving sustainable impact, which is us. We don't want activities or projects na pang one time lang. We want activities that are sustainable, that we know next month andyan pa, next year andyan pa. Towards sustainability also, it should be, pwede na to siya ma-replicate. Pwede siya awaton sa lahi-lahi na grupo. So that is what we are trying to do here, no? And that is what an active citizen is. So sa active citizen framework, there are actually different steps. The first step there is to analyze the community's needs. Now, I understand, especially sa ato ang ka barangay no, na mag-participate, which is Pagatpat and Tablon, there's already a group that was formed, and then you're going to create your micro-farm there. I know in the next webinar series, they will be talking a little bit, or there will be discussions about financing and everything. But first and foremost, we also need to address or analyze what the purpose of the community farm or community micro farm really is for the barangay level. Is it for food security? Is it to augment food for the needy? Is it to feed, for example, kaning mga undernourished kids? Is it for income generating purposes so that it can augment income sa barangay or sa mga individual households? So there has to be that community needs analysis. So that is really the first step, no? Because we cannot solve or face community problems without first understanding the problem inside and out, and specifically pag yun, the problem na root cause pag yun siya na problem. Dili na siya klase na problem. We have to, ungkat yun kung unsa yun na siya na problem. And then we discuss it with the different people that are included in the group or the stakeholders. So again, going back to the community or the barangays that have been selected, of course, you are together with mga SK, di ba? So what can the SK do? What can the women group do? We need to know unsay pwede na ma-contribute nila and what they think is the main concern here, no? So that's the first step. That's analyze community needs or community needs assessment. So now I'll talk about CSR kasi when we analyze naman, just to touch on a little bit on CSR or corporate social responsibility, okay? The principles of CSR is basically that any business or corporation should commit to behave ethically, contribute to the economic development, especially to the locality where they are in, create prosperity and improve the quality of life for its employees, families, local community, and society at large. Now, next slide, please. Why are we talking about CSR? Now, there's no corporation here involved. Because we are trying to get the principles of CSR. The principles of CSR has three P's, no? So these are, the three P's is people, planet, and prosperity. Okay? So basically, ang CSR na principle is na magbalik-magtuyok din na siya within the three. Dapat there's a balance between the three, the people, the planet, and prosperity. Prosperity referring to income or economic prosperity, no? It should, in corporate social responsibility, everybody should play a role. And then ga-circle na siya kanang kumbaga interconnected yun na ang ilahang mga functions, no? So that's where we'll try to get our community needs analysis so that moving forward, whatever you plan to do with your projects locally, ato ni siyang ma-implement or this framework is at the back of our mind na, uy, basig nalimtan nato ang people, uy, basig nalimtan po na very involved kayo ta, hyper kayo ta, or kanang bibo kayo ato ang social involvement, but then it's not gonna be sustainable because there is no funds to sustain the project. Mangin ana na butang, no? So that is why there has to be a balance between the three P's, no? Planet, prosperity, people. So again, this comes from the principles of CSR, all right? But later on, we will tackle ISR or individual social responsibility. Okay, just to dive in a little bit further, no? So sa three P's, we have the people. So we need to ensure that there is people refers to the human capital or our volunteers, our the workers, the committee members, the stakeholders, individual people. So we have to make sure that whatever project we put out, we care or we ensure for the safety and welfare of the people and the communities, okay, that they are happy and then they are able to share their strengths and social well-being to the community, no? Kay kung basically kung dili happy ang mga tao dira sa ato ang groups, no, sa ato ang mga different na committees, syempre di man gud magdugay, and this is a lot of the time, or most of the time, this will involve volunteerism. So dako kay ang chance na muhawa sila kung dili nato sila gina-take care, no? So that's people. Now, in everything we do, we also have to take care of our planet, okay, which is the natural capital. This is where resources come from. JCI actually did a partnership already with Kids Who Farm. We did a hydroponics na training, and there, si Sir Monsi really stressed the fact that you don't need to purchase new things to create the hydroponics na system. You can use recyclables, no? Kasi we have to take care of our planet or our natural capital, because these are the resources that we get, no, around us in the environment. And then there's a chance, no, if we don't take care of it, ato lang siya i-abuse. Of course, we all know this, masaturate po siya, diba? So in all our activities and all our projects, we have to watch out for sustainable environmental practices, make sure that we dispose our non-degradable waste, avoid ecologically destructive practices, and cost should be analyzed in the long run. Just a very quick side bit na fact, in JCI Cagayahan Gold, as much as possible, we no longer use tarpaulins in our activities. Diba? We have activities, we have mga projects. Ideally, you bring a tarpaulin to show what the project title is or what the project is all about. We try to do away with it already. Kasi we do projects like 5 times a month, and then there's so much wastage already of tarpaulins. One time rani mo siya gamiton, no? So we try to do away with that already. And then the ones naman that we use, we tried to do something with them. So we tried to do bags, no, mga eco bags to, I don't know. So just something to think about. Everything that we do, manggod, or everything, the Active Citizen Framework basically says na in everything that we do, there should be purpose yun in everything na done. Sige. And then lastly, of course, prosperity. We cannot mansad allow that our projects, no, na permi lang siya dole out, permi lang siya shell out in behalf of the volunteers, permi lang sila mag-volunteer sa ilang time. So there should also be a balance of prosperity. So in terms of economic capital, so economic benefit by the whole society, okay, ensure that there's lasting economic impact, all right, especially again to the locality, all right, and then if ever, it's not only the group that will gain, but also the different subgroups, and then of course the barangay, for example, going back to Pagatpat, whoever is going to lead the micro farm, if it's going to be for income generation, dapat ang mahappy dili lang pod ang group lang itself, but also the subgroups that will be there. Okay, all right, so that's the 3 P's, no, of CSR. So people, planet, and prosperity. And now going back to Active Citizens Framework, kasi that's what you need for community needs analysis. In Active Citizen Framework, we then move forward to formulate sustainable solutions. Now, we have to make sure that we are collecting and analyzing data on community needs, all right? So, dili siya pwede na what we think is uso or trendy, mo ato ang i-implement. All right, or for example, if it works in Luzon, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work here in Cagayan de Oro City. If it works outside of the Philippines, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will work here in the Philippines or in our Cagayan de Oro setting, or even to your barangay setting, because each group, each community has a different dynamics or have different dynamics. So it is up to the active citizens to ensure that we understand these dynamics and then maximize on those dynamics to create and formulate the sustainable solution there. Okay, so what are how do we go about formulating sustainable solutions? So again, we can use the process of CSR. So sa process of CSR, or corporate social responsibility, we understand and we have to understand and be aware of the 3 P's, okay? Identify your goals. Okay, kasi we cannot move forward, we cannot create a project without knowing our goals. So we have to identify ang goals nato first. So again, going back sa akong giingon ganiha, is this for food security? Is this for income augmentation? So dapat ma-identify gid na siya first and foremost before we start the project. Okay? Develop the plan, communicate it to all the stakeholders. So when we say stakeholders, everybody na pwede potentially may go. Partners, ang workers, ang volunteers, the government, the LGU, the private sectors, the local organizations, the civic organizations that are helping you out. You have to communicate that plan. That is transparency also, so that they also know where they can enter or where they can add additional value to your project. Kay sabtan Manila ang entire scope of the project or program. Of course, then you will implement. And then lastly, we have to keep check and balance by following up and monitoring and evaluation through monitoring and evaluation. Not lastly, so there we have it. So community needs analysis, and then we have the sustainable solution. We then move into partnerships because you already have the game plan, you have the goal, you have the game plan worked out. You have to look for partnerships. So some really amazing projects start with really good partnerships. And in partnerships, you have to identify, again, the stakeholders. And here is something lang yun when we look for stakeholders and partnerships. No? We have to look for partners that have the same shared values with your group. Okay, kay lisod kaayo na for example lang no, environmental ato project, and then we partner with a corporation. They will give us so much in funding, but that corporation is not following best or good environmental practices. Okay, so it's not kumbaga dili siya maayo kay kabalumantan na sila dili maayo ginabuhat, but at the same time you are accepting their funding to come up with a project that's intention is good, diba? So we have to ensure that the partners that we pick or the stakeholders that are included in our project have the same goals, have the same values as the people that are proponents of the project, no? So isa gid na siya ang important kaayo na stakeholders, okay? It's also very important in partnerships because from small scale, si JCI guys, ano lang na siya, that's usually a group of individuals. Local organizations are usually group of individuals from 18 years old to 40 years old. Tag 25 25 to 75 in a chapter, but ang active ana from time to time, sometimes 10, sometimes 15, sometimes 20. But the reason why we are still able to mount big projects is we unite resources and leverage on each other's strengths. Okay, so for example, one of us is from the corporation, one of us is from media, one of us is let's just say now one of us is an online influencer. So we leverage on each other's strengths so that we can maximize the project or the potential of a particular activity. So that's what you have to look for in partners, no? So stakeholders that have the same goals, the same values, and identify the strengths of those different partners. Okay, so there we have it, partnerships. And then lastly, sa active citizen framework, we do actions for impact, okay? So we engage the community during your community needs analysis, collaborate with the stakeholders of the different sectors, and then ensure that you have shared resources, and then everyone is committed. And then once you have all of these built, okay, your project is already there. It's time to take action. So active citizens take action by mobilizing all these resources that we have mentioned. And then we go back to the 3 Ps, no? So sa actions na inyong buhaton, okay, make sure that or just ensure that the 3 Ps are always there. I will keep mentioning the 3 Ps, the planet, prosperity, and people, or people, planet, prosperity, prosperity, people, planet. Okay? Because diri ra man kita magtuyok-tuyok in whatever industry that we enter. These three will always be present, and if once you've mobilized everything already, no, once you've mobilized everything already, it's time to take action. So active citizens take action by mobilizing these resources, rallying support, and implementing the project plan. And don't worry, kasi from time to time, if you have the plan already laid out, there will be changes yun, because as different variables come in, of course, kinahanglan ta na ay mga gagmay na adjustments. Okay. So that's the 3 P's. All right. So take action at that. So it's community needs analysis, right? For forming sustainable solutions. You have the partnerships, and then you have their action, and then lastly is the monitoring and evaluation of results. Now, whether or not your project has been successful or not as successful as you would have wanted it to be, throughout the project, there should always be monitoring. There should always be reporting to the stakeholders so that they are aware kung unsa kahitabo, no? And then, of course, you have to compare data. And just in case it isn't as successful as we want it to be, we still give a report so that the succeeding or kanang ang uban bitaw na magbuhat og ani na similar project, they can learn from our not naman mistakes, but from what we need to improve on. So actually, walay waste ani. No, when we do the active citizen framework, there is walay wastage, because whatever errors or mistakes or mga problems na encounter, they will become learning tools na po dayon sa next na mga projects that you guys will implement or other people may implement. Okay, so it's very important to share these results. All right, so there you have it. So now, I mentioned everything about corporate social responsibility and the active citizen framework, which is just really 5 steps. Let me show you a very quick video on ISR, or individual social responsibility.
What is individual social responsibility? Social responsibility is about me, you, and us. It is about our action, how we affect people, the community, and the environment around us. What if we all accepted responsibility for the challenges that our communities face? What if we challenge? What is individual social responsibility? Social responsibility is about me, you, and us. It is about our action, how we affect people, the community, and the environment around us. What if we all accepted responsibility for the challenges that our communities face? What if we challenged ourselves to create positive impact with every action we take? Just like businesses focus on corporate social responsibility, JCI members are challenged to focus on individual social responsibility. We all have rights as citizens, but we also have responsibilities. The JCI Active Citizen Framework is a social plan that serves as a roadmap to sustainable development. That is what social responsibility is about. It is about me, you, and all of us taking responsibility for the future of our world, starting from our local community.
Social responsibility. So individual social responsibility is about you, me, and our responsibility to the community, no? It doesn't necessarily mean magod na permi lang ta maglaban for our rights. Our right, we have a lot of rights, no? But we also have to ensure that we are responsible and accountable for different things. For example, as easy as your surroundings. So when you step out of your house, and even in your household, you're responsible for your household. When you step out, dapat responsible po ta sa surroundings sa atong household. Dapat dili ang atoan lang lugar ang limpyo. Kinahanglan man gina siya na limpyo tanan, no? Kay dili man pwede na taman ra sa ato. So that's basically what ISR is all about, and that is part of the Active Citizen Framework. It's actually a very JCI na framework, but it's also a framework that we hope all different groups can follow or copy or adapt. So for the different groups, the SK, the kaning women's group, and then we have the barangays that are participating. We have to go towards ISR, or individual social responsibility. Now, going back a little bit to the project, once the project has the desired results, achieve and ultimately solve the problem that you are trying to resolve, okay, then we should share that impact and we can actually repeat the process, right? Best practices are best shared. So best practices, whatever you did right, if you could share that process or share that success so that others may know how to do it properly. Dili lang nato siya tuon. Kaya sayang man, that's why you did it naman in the first place, diba? To achieve a goal, to solve a problem for the community, for the world, so that solution that you found na successful, let's share it to others so we can share the impact and then more groups can actually do the same thing. All right. So to cap off, all right, so this is my last two slides actually. It's very timely na because again, I'm gonna go back to this first speaker this afternoon. I'm very privileged na siya sa iya ko gasunod na to Miss Rhina of Kids Who Farm. At a very young age, she already did something. She founded Kids Who Farm. She founded an organization that is working towards food security and ensuring sustainability within the locality. No? And basically, this is the statement that I have, we did not inherit the earth from our parents actually. So wala ta nagmana, but rather we are borrowing it from our children and their children. So it is our responsibility to take care of what we have, the resources that we have right now, because giutang raman nato ni sa ato ang mga anak. And I would like to give everyone a call to action. Rhina gave you a call to action. Where do we start? And this is my call to action to everyone. Make a personal commitment, okay? So if each person can make a personal commitment in regards to the urban community microfarm, what is your commitment? Is your commitment ensuring that I will go there every day, no, sa site to ensure that it is clean? That could be a commitment. But as easy as I will advocate for urban gardening, right, every day, through my social media, through my Facebook, kasi we're digital. We don't really have much of a choice. We have to do virtual. So, pwede gyapon na siya. And then every day, you post something about urban microfarming. So you are actually creating awareness and you're creating the noise that is needed, okay? So stand up and make noise. And if okay lang sa inyo, these are just hashtags that I made up na you can use so that we can also follow what your commitment is. Or you can also submit your commitments to the GSK CDO or JCI Cagayan Gold page. But make a commitment, make that commitment public, and then add the hashtags GSK_KG, which is Cagayan Gold, or hashtag I commit. Because what do you commit? No? Because it really starts from there na gyud. And of course, before I end, thank you so much to everyone who has made this possible, this webinar series. Bahalag MECQ ang CDO. Thank you so much to all the proponents or all the movers and doers of this activity, no? Kay Bahalag MECQ, we still found ways. And this webinar series could not be more timely. I'll leave everyone with a video. This video is actually from India. I hope naka-earphones mo and you can put up the volume very high because it's a very nice video. I love this video. It's actually a campaign video, but the story behind it and the message in it is very inspiring and motivating. Bahalag wala ko'y masabtan bisag isa because it's not in our language. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and I'll leave you with this video. Thank you so much.
Okay. सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर। सर आइए सर। ए चल चल।
गया मेन शो।
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना।
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा?
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता रे हो। कौन तुझको पार लेगा, कौन होगा वो मसीहा, वो जिसे तू ढूंढता है, वो ही है तू वही है। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तू ही रे तेरा मसीहा हो।
Sayang, I think nagpilit ato ang video. It's very sayang, but actually if you can just search it you can search it man sa YouTube na video. It's called The Tree and then Lead India. It's actually a political campaign. I really ask everyone if they could watch it because it's actually one of my favorite videos, and JCI was the one who shared that video with us.
There you go. Thank you very much po, Ma'am Kitty Chukinhoy Pio. That was amazing. To become active citizen is much needed, no? That is why, Mahigala, again, take the challenge, post your commitment on your social media accounts with the hashtags #GSK KG and #ICommit. And do not forget to make your post public para makita nila yung mga commitments. You know what?
Right.
It's such an important thing that we commit not just for ourselves, but for the future generations, for the people around us, Mahigala. Because allow me to just reiterate one thing that Ma'am Kitty have mentioned, that we did not inherit the world sa ating mga ancestors, but rather we owe it to our children and the future generations. That is why it is our responsibility to take care of our planet. Because again, nag-iisa lang po ito, and once once masira, wala na pong iba talaga. I mean, once magunaw ang mundo, that is the end of humanity. That is the end of us, and there will be no future generations. Ate City, you want to say something?
Yes, of course. I also love the way Ma'am Kitty has shared kanina about sustainable impact through collective action. So things are getting possible and every goals can be attained through collaboration, community engagement, and by mobilizing our resources to really create an impact sa ating community and for the larger scope, our society. So grabe, napaka-fruitful ang discussion ni Ma'am Kitty earlier. Di ba, Polly?
I agree. And of course, in everything that we do, again, wag po nating kakalimutan to think of our planet, prosperity, and people. All right. At this point, we'll be entertaining questions, mga higala. So to our Facebook Live viewers, feel free to drop any questions that you want to ask Ma'am Kitty, because again, we'll be entertaining all of those questions. All right. But at this point, magchikahan muna tayo. Let's have a quick shout out sa mga nandirito, sa ating mga Facebook Live viewers. All right. Magchikahan siya. All right. Shout out to Arnold Jatilia Ariata, watching from Kibungsod, Magsaysay, Misamis Oriental, and from USCP Claveria. Hello po.
Napakakuan, detailed ang address.
Oo.
Ana si Ma'am Doreen Cuevas Raniera, proud JCI member here. Of course naman. Hello,
Hi,
Ma'am.
Doreen. Hi, Press.
There you go. All right, we have one question already from Robert Marshall sa Bugaa Suarin. Good afternoon, everyone. Mga tanong ko ni Ma'am Kitty. Unsa na mga projects na ang inyong nabuhat na successful and na-utilize gyud ayo sa mga katawhan?
Alright, Sir Robert, thanks. No, actually, daghan man ato ang project. So I'm trying to think of a project na medyo into farming and environment. But beforehand lang, no, we have as simple as very quick trivia for those that are Cagayanons. Cagayan de Oro actually, or JCI actually, JCI Cagayan Gold actually was part of the council that helped come up with the RTA na process sa una kaning hiring of the RTA of Cagayan de Oro City. Prior, wala man na sila. So this was during the time of Mayor Magtaha. So we sat in the council, we analyzed the needs at that time because as we know, sa Cagayan de Oro, medyo small ang streets, mga dalan, and at that time, wala pa kayo tayo mga kaning mga traffic lights. So JCI KG did the active citizen framework, and one of the solutions or one of the resolutions was the traffic, how to manage traffic, and then even ang kaning mga drop off and sa kaning mga overpass bitaw. So si JCI Cagayan Gold ano. We also bring the sustainable development goals to the kids. We go to different sitios, we bring visual aids kasi syempre they're it's not formal schooling, and we then try to teach them about social sustainable development goals. And then towards siguro the most recent one that we had in terms of environment and farming, we did the Hail Hydro. Actually, that's just the title of the project, but it's a hydroponics workshop. It's going to be two parts. Part one, the reason why we did Hail Hydro, ang pinaka goal gid namo adto was na to make people plant in their own backyards or in their own households, because we don't want them to keep going out, di ba, ma-expose pa kaayo. At the same time, you seek for food security within the community. So phase one, with Kids Who Farm, we did the workshop for different individual gardeners and our members. And part two will be to create a hydroponics na garden in one of the barangays. And that garden will be to sustain and augment food for those that are in need, especially katong mga low og body mass index for kids bitaw na undernourished or malnourished. So we can take food from that garden and then give it to the kids who need. So that's just one of the examples. But to Sir Robert, actually, you can visit JCI Philippines. There are different projects there that are being implemented, not only locally, but worldwide. So, mabalaan gid nimo kung unsa ni sila and unsa ilahang mga impact ani na mga projects. And there are projects na as long as more than 50 years running na ni sila na mga projects.
Wow, and Ma'am Doreen also mentioned the litter of light sa ating comment section. There you go. All right, we have Grant Mejorada Amoncha. This is not a question, but I just also want to read this. Amazing presentation, Ma'am Kitty. What struck me the most is that the individual social responsibility, atong responsibilidad gyud ang atong palibot, ilabi na ang kaugmaon sa atong mga sumusunod. Good job, UCM. There you go. That's so true. We have our own individual responsibility, and in everything that we do, in every actions that we do, in every actions that we take, maapektuhan gyud ang atong mga palibot and the future generations. That it's an important thing that we know sa tanan natong ginabuhat, no? Para, of course, again, it's for the future generations. All right. Any more questions, mga higala? We are still going to entertain questions. So if you have, feel free to comment it sa ating comment section.
Polly, I'll just add, Ms. Doreen mentioned litter of light. Para lang pod na ma-share kung unsa ang litter of light. Litter of light is actually a technology. It's a very cost-effective technology where you use a litro That's why it's litter bottle. So recyclable siya. There's solution that you put in, and then it can produce light, like literally light na ano. So it was used for different mga areas that dili maabtan sa dili pagakaabtan og mga electricity at that time. So it actually helps, for example, kids who are studying na sila ka-study at night because galampara sila. So there was litter of light, and this was implemented by other JCI local organizations. So like JCI Bailawanan, that's another chapter here in Cagayan de Oro City pod, no? So yon, of course it avoids kaning sa sunog, di ba, kayo di magamit og candle. So mo to siya, si litter of light pod to siya na project. Dagag project din ako siya ba nakaroon. So sa mga JCI, please the project so that I can explain the project na yun.
There you go. That's an
Masyadong
amazing
marami.
project, no? Imagine providing light sa darkness ng mga nararanasan, especially to those mga students nga, again, as Ma'am Kitty have mentioned, dili ka study sa gabi because walay suga. And again, it's not safe. It's not 100% safe to use candles or kind of mga gas and everything. Kay usually mo na ginagamit, di ba, ato nga mga places. And imagine providing light to these people. Such an amazing project. Thank you very much po. All right. Again, if we have JCI members here who's watching, feel free to drop go to mga projects, no, nga inyong nabuhat so that na-explain ni Ma'am Kitty sa tanan nga nagtanaw sa ato karong hapunan. Anyhow, let's have a quick shout out from Dave John Lumakang. Shout out po diha sa Wao Lano del Sur. Hello sa lahat ng mga
Ganyan na
taga Wao
actually
Lano del Sur.
nag-comment. I would like
Alright.
to shout out po no akong special friend nga I forgot to mention for the past 3 days, no, si Mariah Missy Pagkalinawan. Hello Mars, I hope you are doing well di sa Lanao. So thank you so much
I-issue
for
na
watching.
na ako kung kinsa tong special friend, babae di ay.
Uy!
All right, keep your questions coming, mga higala, because again, we'll be reading those questions, and I believe Ma'am Kitty will be very happy to answer all of your questions. I believe very interesting kaayo ning inani, no? And of course, all right. Sige. Again, we remind everyone. Eto pala, I forgot to announce. To our GSK CDO participants, you have to be a member of GSK CDO's official group page. That's GSK CDO. You may share your updates and your mga gardens there. You may post a photo. And to those who will participate, will receive a certificate of completion. Because I believe our participants will be having their own graduation. So feel free to take a photo of your own garden there, no, and then post it sa inyong official Facebook page, group page. It's called GSK CDO. So be a part of that wonderful community. There you go. Rafi
I mean, Polly, we
Kipanes.
have another
Yes,
takeaway
go, Ate
from Rafi Kipanes. So, ano siya, laban kaayo na webinar, Jude. So, thank you sa knowledge, ma'am. Bright daw kaayo ka, which indeed, I couldn't agree more,
I
ma'am.
couldn't agree more. I agree. Totally agree. All right. Also, mga higala, since this is our third day and last day for our book 2 or series 2 of our webinar series sa ating Urban Community Microfarm, we encourage you to fill out our evaluation form, which I believe will be dropped. Link will be dropped dito rin sa ating comment section. So please do evaluate para po sa ikabubuti ng ating project. And of course, para din ho naman ito, again, para sa lahat at sa ating future generations. Because everything that we do now, hindi lang para sa ating mga sarili, but again, sa future generations. At paulit-ulit po naming sinasabi ito para mas tumatak sa inyong lahat that again, everything that we do is for the future. So if you're concerned sa kung anong mangyayari bukas o sa ating mga anak at sa kanilang mga anak, we have to start doing now.
That is true because, again, it is our social responsibility to protect what we have right now, in this case, our planet Earth, di ba?
Diba? And in fact, to mention yesterday's speaker, no, it's biblical. We are all here, and it's our task to take care of the environment dahil ipinahiram lang ho sa atin ito. At we owe it to our children na kailangan nating maibalik ito sa kanila ng napakaganda pa. Diba? Better world to live in. Ika nga. Alright. Sige, guys, comment pa. We'll be very happy to do shout outs pa, to entertain all of your questions and all that. Sige. There you go. All right, since we don't have questions pa, I believe Ma'am Kitty here with us would love to promote their projects and everything. There you go, Ma'am Kitty.
Yes, thank you so much once again for to everybody, to the proponents for inviting JCI Cagayahan Gold to be part of this webinar series. So we are very fortunate that GSK also partnered with JCI Cagayahan Gold already. Actually, we already have a memorandum yun, nakamuwag yun si GSK and si JCI KG. No? So we're very happy kasi if you notice, that's actually part of Active Citizen Framework. We have to leverage in each other's strengths. We're not very technical when it comes to farming. I don't know how to farm. So, ang pet size akong anak, diretso na ako na patay in 1 week's time. No? But we are trying hydroponics because it was relatively easy. No? Ang pet size na nasa garden. Sorry na lang yun. I'm not a plant tita at all. But that's why we do this kind of partnership. So, for everybody here, if you notice the opening cover, there were how many different organizations working hand in hand towards one goal, one solving one problem, one at a time or at a time lugar, no? And then these different organizations have the same shared values. It's really about people, about planet, about prosperity, and we didn't even realize it. Now we were all protecting those 3 P's. No? So I encourage everyone to really apply ISR and to do #ICommit. And then it's okay if you don't want to share it with us, okay? But if you would like to share it with us, #GSK_KG so that we can read your commitment. Kasi baka that solution that you made is something that we could also do, or we can also copy or apply, di ba? So for konting plug lang ako, City and Polly ha. So for those that are watching, please, if you want to know more about JCI Cagayahan Gold projects, what we do, or how to join us, please follow our Facebook page at JCI Cagayahan Gold. So Cagayahan is K, okay, and it means pride. All right, it's a very Bisaya word for pride or garbo, garboso. Salamat kayo, guys. Thank you kayo. I had fun this afternoon.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am City. Garbo, diba? Not just in the city, but to the whole world. Because to be an active citizen, I believe, is such a pride to our world and to the future generations. At this point, I believe nabitin mo sa video kaganina, no? And I believe it's so ready. Okay, we are so excited for you guys to watch it. And so, mga higala, I want you to once again put your attention on screen as you take a look at this video. Wear your earphones for better experience.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर आइए सर चल चल जाओ बोला क्या बात करता है क्या ऊपर से जाएगा क्या ऊपर से जा
गया मेन शो
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना.
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा?
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता रे हो. तुझको पार लेगा, कौन होगा वो मसीहा, वो जिसे तू ढूंढता है, वो ही है तू वही है। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तू ही रे तेरा मसीहा हो।
And I got goosebumps. Diba? One action can inspire millions. Diba? So, as long as sisimulan, kahit isa lang, it will inspire and, you know, the ripple effect na sinasabi nila. And imagine that, from one child inspiring those people to move the trees.
Individual lang yun siya. One.
That's super amazing. Anyhow, Ma'am Kitty, I believe you will be promoting something para sa lahat.
Yeah, I think nagana ako na story ano. But guys, if you we have actually a lot of activities coming up, but tomorrow we will actually we are in partner with Music in the City. That is the City Information Office na show every Saturday. But tomorrow we will be taking over. So it's going to be a special episode. We will be talking about stories of hope. These are stories of actual people that experience COVID, and they will share what they went through, and for us also to learn something, especially on getting support, having faith, and keeping hopeful, especially at these times. So it will be live streamed in Cagayan de Oro City na Philippines Facebook page, also Music in the City na Facebook page, and JCI Cagayan Gold page. And you can also tune in to us at Mellow Touch 95.7. This is July 3, tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m. Okay, so we will be featuring this different and also we have another project. So it's called Bicicleta. No? So what we're trying to do is provide safety gear to different biker or commuter na vendors, biker vendors, mga balut vendors, because they ride mga at night, wala sila mga bike lights, so to avoid lang mga accidents. So we're sharing the road with this different individuals, mga. And this is through the partnership with CDO by Bike. So CDO by Bike is an organization that promotes safe biking, especially for those na dili lang lifestyle ang bike, pero kaning dili leisure ang bike or dili pang laag-laag, but really mode of transportation to work. So kaning magbabalot, si taho gay nato na favorite, ang kaning gahipos og gaayog mga sapatos. So muna sila provide nato sila og bike lights and safety gear. So we will have a fundraising through a raffle. So please like na lang yung JCI Cagayan Gold page for more details. Thank you kayo guys for allowing me to plug our two projects.
Thank you, amazing. I cannot wait to watch tomorrow's show, diba? In times like this, we need to hear stories like that to keep us, be inspired, to give us hope and fuel to continue fighting in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of this pandemic. Wag tayo papatalo sa pandemyang ito. Our faith should be stronger than this pandemic. And thank you very much, JCI Cagayan Gold, for continuously creating opportunities like this, no? Hindi lang, para sa lahat, especially to our beneficiaries. Thank you so much. All right. Well, wala na tayo mga questions. I believe nagiging malinaw ang lahat. Lahat na lang na nakikita ko, puro pa-praise and everything. Well-deserved.
That is true.
Round of applause, mga wow, ang mga nakikita ko sa comment section. And so at this point, allow me to present this e-certificate para sa ating speaker this afternoon. Ayan, certificate of recognition is presented to Kitty Chokinhoy Piol for sharing her knowledge and expertise as resource speaker for the topic Active Citizen Framework during the webinar series on Urban Community Microfarm conducted by the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines and Kids Who Farm on July 2, 2021 via Facebook Live. Given the second day of July 2021 and signed Agropolis Technopark Development in charge of USTP, Clint Django Pacana, Acting City Agriculturist of Cagayan de Oro, Paul Douglas Kalingin, co-founder of Kids Who Farm, Munir Hinay, and of course, the head for Center for Human Development of USCP, Angeli Azcuna Colliera. Thank you very much, Paul and Kitty.
Thank you, everyone.
Again, maraming salamat, Miss Kitty, no, for all the learnings that you have imparted on us about Active Citizen Framework. So I hope they get to learn and apply those things, no, and be involved in the community. Ayan. Thank you so much again po.
Thank you.
And
hope to see you soon when this pandemic ends. Thank
Keep
you,
safe,
Paul and
everyone.
Kitty.
Thank you po. Ayan.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Napakaganda ng mga hapon nating lahat. Ang dami nating natutunan and we hope that after today we'll become more active citizens, no? Para sa ating bayan at para sa ikabubuti ng ating kinabukasan. Hopefully at the city. And of course, once again, I'd like to remind everyone to please be a member of GSK CDO's official group page. Again, that's GSK CDO. And you may share all of your photos there, updates in your garden and all that. And of course, for you to receive certificate of completion. And once again, the attendance, I believe link is in the comment section. Fill that out para ma-send ang inyong certificate as well. At the city, any words para sa lahat?
And of course, before we actually forget, no, lagi natin itong sinasabi, kindly fill out the evaluation form, which will be also posted in the comment section for us to really assess and further improve our services for all of you, di ba?
There you go. And once again, this is the end of Series 2, but not the end for everything, because we'll have our third installment for our webinar series. Mga higala, we hope to see you again sa ating third installment. And thank you very much, everyone. And this has been an amazing 3 consecutive days for me. Diba? I had so much fun.
Thank you so much, good TCM department, no, for choosing us to really host this 3-day event. It's such an honor, good, and pleasure to meet a lot of urban gardeners out there. So salamat kayo, Ma'am Doreen, no? And to all the core members of GSK CDO.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Mga higala, this is the end again for Series 2. Daghan kayong salamat for joining us for the past 3 days. Thank you very much. It's really thank you. My heart is so happy. And we hope that we continue to work together so that we achieve a better world, a better place to live in. This has been fun.
And this has been your host also. I am Siti Alea Faki saying thank you, God bless, and stay at home.
And
thank you so much.
Stay safe, everyone, because I believe no one is safe until everybody is. So stay safe.
That is
if
true.
you're watching, stay safe. Thank you very much and goodbye. Have
See
a great
you again
day ahead.
soon.